will be writing a letter to Mayor Nenshi tonight, or in the next few evenings or days, to Mayor Nenshi and his council, so that they would find a reason. They would look upon reason his 12 councillor city council, so they may vote as they please upon a debate of whether or not the city of Calgary should officially, as the city of Winnipeg has, support a official inquiry upon the federal government of Canada under the Harper leadership to find out what happened to the murdered Indigenous women of Canada, namely mostly BC, along the Tears, the Highway of Tears. I'm under no illusions of being ignored, as I have made numerous requests to my council member, Shane Keating, and this will serve as recorded evidence of me writing to Shane Keating later on in a different episode, where I will be bringing task to the city of to him and his appealing to him and his humanitarian conscience, as his son had perished his son was a peacekeeper, and his son perished on a peacekeeping mission. I believe it was to Afghanistan. I could be wrong, but I believe it is. And his son gave up his life for human rights. His son gave up his rights for women's rights. So I'm hoping that Shane Keating would honor his son's memory by voting or beginning a dialogue or passing a motion in the city of Calgary City Council to at least begin tasking the federal government to find out what happened to the missing Indigenous women. We're going to go look at a map here of British Columbia, and mostly along the highway, this is known as the Highway of Tears as well. There's a St. Rupert here. Prince Rupert here. These are inhabited a lot by native Indigenous cultural tribes who go to seek a better life in the city. Not to say a better life. I scratched that. I apologize. They want to seek economic life. It's sort of like how I'm Chinese and my parents came to Canada. People from China come to Canada. And not to say that China's a bad place, but they want to see something. They want to try something new. They want to move to a city. I myself live in Calgary. This is Tsuut'ina Nation right here. Behind Calgary is Tsuut'ina Nation, and that's a native nation there. But so as Calgarians, we are neighbored by natives. Our whole country is a native territory, and the city, and this is strange because we Canadians have a document called the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and this Charter of Rights and Freedoms guarantees all citizens the right for human rights, the right to be safe, the right to not be murdered for being ethnic, religious, that's called hate crimes. Gender-wise, gender-logical, age-wise, ethnic-wise, religion-wise, we have to be protected with basic human rights of living in a safe democratic country. Unfortunately, as we can see with the Highway of Tears and all sorts of Native women going missing, because of poverty-related communities that they live in, and they're being preyed on because they're the most vulnerable when they're women, a vulnerable segment of our let's not deny it. Women are a very vulnerable demographic in human society. Even we're fighting for human rights in the other countries, and we don't even have human rights in this case to protect women, or at least not to protect women. Well, to protect women, and if we cannot, bring the people who have harmed them to justice. The federal government doesn't even want to do this. The federal government wants to, sell oil or, Stephen Harper, but Stephen Harper wants to sell oil or whatever the hell Stephen Harper wants to do. And the I Don't Know More movement has been trying to get the federal government to look into it, to look into some of these murders, to look into some to see if there is a pattern. There's a Dexter pattern. Maybe it's one person, maybe it's another people, maybe it's a whole sex ring. Maybe it's a bunch of maybe it's the police. Who knows? We don't know because there is no inquiry. You cannot put these maniacs in jail, so that these maniacs can continue to hurt girl A, girl B, and girl C. And this is a very terrible thing. We're doing a human rights violation. We're doing it against women. Canada has signed the United Nations agreement saying that we must do human right things, be a human rights observant country. Now, the city of Winnipeg, under the leadership of Mayor Katz, has if we can find out which is the mayor again, it's Sam Katz. Is that him? Mayor Katz has okay, I guess he's outgoing mayor, but the Mayor Katz has one of his last moves as mayor is to look into what went wrong, why we're not catching these bastards, and we are not throwing them in jail into a federal penitentiary so they can remove these psychos from our segment of population. Does it feel safe? I mean, not just Native women, but as a woman, do you feel safe, as a Canadian woman, do you feel safe that there's a bunch of women-hating murderers on your streets and out there? Of course not, you don't feel safe. As a mother, as a daughter, as a sister, as a niece, wife, granddaughter, that kind of thing. You don't feel safe that they're horny freaks of nature running amok, hurting your gender, people of your gender. Sort of like the second son of Sam. So we are going to write to Nenshi to ask him if the city of Calgary would be also willing to begin a dialogue where they can challenge the federal government to look into it doesn't matter, you can him and you can ha, like a we can't do something, like a mumbling politician. You can't do that. You're a super mayor, Nenshi. You're super Nenshi. This is why we want to vote for you. This is why we voted for the Purple Revolution, so that you can build a city where we're protected. Not just a city where we're protected, but also stand up for what makes us as human beings and Canadians awesome. That we value another human life. Now, I task that Nenshi is quite easily able to just ride a horse during the or ride whatever he rides during a gay martial parade. And that's a good thing, gays need to be protected from gay bashing, and their rights as tax-paying Canadian citizens in a free country should be upheld. But why would Nenshi value one vulnerable demographic, gays, to, say, women? That's another vulnerable. They're Canadians too. Women are Canadian women are Canadian women, and in this case, Canadian women are being murdered. So why isn't Nenshi? Why isn't not he, Nenshi, the super mayor, defending just one group and ignoring the needs of another group? This is what mayors do. This is what super mayors do. So we'll be writing to Nenshi. We'll be writing to Sean Keating. Likely they'll be erased, and when Sean Keating comes back in a few years and he sees his opponent, he'll ask, how did I let you down, or This is the reason why. I mean, Sean Keating, I politely wrote to him many messages, and they're politely ignored. You know, when it comes to so this time I have the foresight to actually record, or actually pass the copy pass the messages that I've written to them, and hopefully. I mean, I know you guys are like Nenshi. Hell, I voted for Nenshi. I wrote his Wikipedia article, by the way, the most of it, anyways. There's a guy named Sambuca Cat that's on in the history of the Wikipedia article. That's me, and or Sam Cat or whatever the hell I called myself. And I was expecting great things from the Mayor Nenshi, not just great photo ops or anything, but actual greatness from him. I mean, unfortunately, we didn't get it. We got good stuff, but we want great stuff. Why settle for good when you can have great, Nenshi? Right? So I will be writing to you, Nenshi. I will be writing to your counselors. I will be, and if that doesn't happen, if that doesn't help, I'll be addressing the city hall with a 5-minute address, which I have every right as a Calgarian citizen to do that. And I'm gonna bring up the issue. I'm gonna ask Native groups to watch us make this presentation, of why you're not ignoring us. And these are my reasons why. You're fraud, Nenshi. You're fake. You're the purple revolution is just purple Jello, purple Kool-Aid, grape Kool-Aid. I mean, as a Canadian citizen, as a leader, an elected leader in a Canadian city, in the country of Canada, you have to be abided by Canadian laws, and that Canadian laws dictate that the rule of law, which is that if you do a crime, you do the time. Unfortunately, we cannot do the psycho killers cannot do the crime, because we cannot charge them with the crime. We don't want to charge them with the crime. We don't want to find them, except for the people of Winnipeg, and that's kudos to them. That's a congratulatory congratulations to the city of Winnipeg for doing the right thing, for addressing the need for a national dialogue, so we can begin these investigations, so we can catch these sons of bitches who are murdering our daughters, our sisters, our aunts, our nieces, who are committing violence against women. You want to say there's no equality against women? Well, if Mayor Nenshi wants to support gays, which is good, I support gays too. I'm glad that the Gay Pride Parade falls on August 31st, my birthday. But the thing is, all Calgarians, all Canadians must feel safe. They must feel safe under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Otherwise, our soldiers died for nothing in Normandy. Our soldiers died for nothing in Operation Market Garden, the cleanup of Market Garden, or defending. I don't think we fought too much in Hong Kong and Asia, though. I think they're mostly in Europe. But fighting Nazi tyranny is for the right for women to be protected, for men and women to be protected, and to have the rule of law makes it for the social contract makes us a civilized animalistic being. And you want to complain that there are murderers in this, that there's murderers and there's women, women's rights, but the thing is, how is a gay man being beaten up any different than a woman being beaten up or murdered? The internal damages to the body are still identically the same. Especially the traumatic traumas, or psychological traumas that are inflicted, by knowing that there's some psycho trying to kick you in the ribs with the boots, for both women and gays. So why, Nenshi, do you choose one vulnerable demographic over the other? You know, is a woman's life less than another human's life? I ask that to you, Nenshi, as a civilized human being.